This is the Sunday Business Page with John Delano.
Good morning, I'm John Delano. Welcome to another special segment of the Sunday Business Page. A couple weeks ago, Mayor Bill Peduto introduced the city to his new economic development team. The head of that team is the city's new Chief Economic Development Officer, Marty Lamar. Marty takes on a big task, says the mayor. After years of managing decline, the city now needs to manage growth. Marty, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, John.
And that's a good thing to manage growth, isn't it?
It absolutely is. Better that than decline.
You come here from other cities where
Yes.
you've worked in this arena. Give us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm a native of Atlanta, Georgia. I've worked for housing authorities in Atlanta, Seattle, Philadelphia, as well as Toledo, Ohio.
And now you're here in Pittsburgh.
I am proudly.
You know, what is a Chief Economic Development Officer? What does that mean when the city has someone like that?
Well, what that is it's the person who makes sure that the city is managing growth. The city's acquiring opportunities for industry to come into the city, as well as housing opportunities, and making sure that the city's tradition is either established or prolonged or given more depth and breadth.
You know, we like to think, and we've had guests on a variety of different shows about Pittsburgh's growth and the fact that we're spending billions of dollars on new buildings and construction and the like, and all of which is good. But as the mayor pointed out at his press conference when he introduced you and others, there really needs to be other focus, and particularly on people who don't share in that growth.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
So what that means is that we want to make sure that people are obviously included, because the two things that matter are jobs and housing, and making sure that people find the city accessible to them. And then what we are able to do is then attract visitors as well as people who become transplants to our city. So we want to make sure that the city is rich and plentiful and that opportunities do exist.
You have met some of the developers in this city. What's your reaction?
I'm fascinated with them. They have vision. They have a lot of ambition, and they're excited. And they really want to put Pittsburgh on the map and help Pittsburgh become what it's going to be into the future, and not have people dwell on what it was in the past.
Yeah, I like that future orientation. What about some of the community leaders? You've also been meeting with those folks over the last few weeks. What are you hearing from them?
Well, I'm hearing their passion. I'm hearing their desire to want to make Pittsburgh better, and they want their areas to be included to make sure that they're a part of Pittsburgh's growth. So what I want to do is be able to match my excitement with theirs, touch the people, let's talk to them, find out exactly what goes on, and then we'll move them forward.
The mayor said something which I thought was interesting. He said, we want jobs not just for those with PhDs.
Yes.
Which would reference sort of the Google and Amazon and some of those folks.
Absolutely.
But also those with GEDs. Is that part of your job?
It absolutely is. Again, we want to be inclusive, and we want to make sure that we're able to benefit everybody that wants to call Pittsburgh home.
Marty Lamar, welcome. It's so good to have you in Pittsburgh. Good to have your leadership here, and we're looking forward to many opportunities to talk further as you accomplish all that the mayor set out for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again. And thank you for joining us on this edition of the Sunday Business Page. Please do write to me if you have a suggestion for a guest, or drop me an email at jdelano@kdka.com. I'm John Delano. Have a great Sunday, everyone.